Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and a very pleasant night to you, my precious pack, and welcome back once more to World of Tanks. Okay, am I the only one that ever seems to have decent matches on this map after a string of losses? Because guess what, here I am again on this stupid little map, of which I can never remember the name, because it's not really important. What is important is the fact that I've had a loss string before this match of roughly 15 matches back to freaking back. You know you're having a bad time when you try your hardest, no matter what you do, you always lose. And then you get this match, and it restores your faith in the game for a single match, and it takes it away from you again. Well, this one little match, while it's not some awe-inspiring, impressive match, such as a 4,000 damage game in this tank, or 5,000 damage blocked in the tank, or anything like that, it was good for an entirely different reason. It was a victory after a string of losses, but it was how the victory occurred that it makes me rub my hands together with glee and hope to get more matches like this. First off, we see that the majority of the enemy's tanks are already in the ditch, well, the dip, so there's not much I can do to advance there, because I'm not the fastest medium tank in the world. Don't have the fastest reload. Hit like a freight train when you need to, but other than that, you're not going to be doing much of anything. And as you can see, we're desperately outnumbered, and the majority of the tanks over here are soft armored, with the exception of the AE Phase 1 and my own tank. The Progetto, they're not going to be able to do much every time they try and poke, so it's going to be a 1-for-1 trade unless they can get 2 rounds off on the same tank. The Kampfpanzer, yeah, they're going to be losing health almost every time they poke. And the Borosks on the enemy team, as you can see, they're just going to field. They're completely outflanking us. There's not much we can do about it right now. And like I said, not much help, because every time they poke, they're going to be losing hit points, and if they're trading 1-for-1, they're not going to win that fight. But we begin to see some nice supporting fire from the back by our tank destroyers against the Borosks. The enemy's top tier tanks, they're almost gone though too. Their STB1 and their CS. Actually, the CS is already out of the match. Okay, so. And there goes the STB1. He didn't last very long. But neither of the two tanks in front of me, because the AE Phase 1 is on a lot of health right now. But that's about to change very rapidly. And I'm going to spoil something. That round was a miss, because they're going to pop up again in a second. They're going to be missing health, but it wasn't me that did the damage. Should have took the time, aimed up. But you live and you learn. The Borosks still have the flank, and like I said before, every time this dude pops up, he's losing chunks of his health. I've only landed one good connecting shot, so this is looking very bad, because I'm hardly doing anything over here, aside from bouncing the occasional round from people. And then there's this one. When you just sit there and wiggle in place, or move forwards and backwards a bit, I find it very useless, because then you'll have someone like me just sits there, they aim at a single location and they fire. The best thing to do in that situation is turn, re-angle your tank, stuff like that. Try and just mess with it a little bit so you're not going to always get hit. Oh, and did I mention it's now 1 versus 4 immediately on the edge with the backup of the 3 behind me. And I don't feel like backing down. Don't mind me just looking away from my computer screen real quick. Thought I saw something move by my foot. Ah. Premium rounds, here they come. Come on, do something exciting. Me just sitting here quietly is boring. And this match was exciting. Where's all the excitement that I remember? Was it just dopamine rushing through my brain, just overexcitement because of the match? No. Because here comes the Pershing. I have no idea what they're doing. I believe that the AE Phase 1 was supposed to push sooner, so that they could catch me in the middle. But instead of doing that, they're still moving, and the Pershing is losing all of their health. I said losing all their health. There we go. And now it's just the AE phase 1, and they're firing at the tank destroyers. Okay, well that was a waste of the Pershing. I'm sorry for you, dude. Or lady. Can't judge. And more premium rounds. Take your track in return for that, though. Come on. I want the damaging shot. I want that destruction. Come on. Let me have it. Aww. Oh well. You live and you learn in regards to how you play the tanks, and I've become far too comfortable with this tank because as of lately my matches have been on the side of what would be outrageous. My average damage per game as of lately, due to me having a very poor start with the tank, the average damage is only about 1,700, but my average damage per actual game per week seems to be much closer to about 3,000, so it shouldn't be too long before I get over the 2,000 mark for the damage per game mark. As for the armor effective usage, well, my effective blocking, I'm nearly at the 1-for-1 ratio, so I'm blocking as much health as I have almost every single match. And it's absurd when you look at this tiny tier 8 and it's doing all this. Speaking of absurd, don't even fully aim, get the kill. Yep, that's just gonna happen. Can I get the final shot on the... Okay, well, something hit the E50 while they weren't spotted, or I wasn't paying attention. But, scoop up the kill. Raise up the gun. And yeah. That's how this match ends. And, again, this was after a string of losses, so you have to understand that I was just overly excited with how it ended. Thanks for having joined me, my precious pack, but it's time for me to head off and take care of the next video. But for now, be safe out there, happy hunting, and as always, I'll see you later.
The enemy had arrived. The invasion began.